Yes, welcome. Now we will start the energy audit. What do you mean by energy audit? What is the need of energy audit? What are the methodology used for the energy audit in any type of process industry or any type of premises are there? And what are the different instruments are used for the energy audit and conservations? So what is the definition of energy audit? What are the objective of energy audit? The judicious and effective use of energy to maximize the profit and enhance the competitive position. This is the need of energy audit. What is that? The judicious use. Whatever the energy we are using, it should be a judicious use. There should not be any wastage in the energy audit, in the energy sectors. There should not be any lavish use of electrical energy. So we have to give some justification of the energy consumption whatever we are consuming in any sectors. It may be the industrial sector, agriculture sectors, domestic and commercial sector. We should have some judicious, or we should have a effective use of electrical energy or any kind of the energy is there. The objective of energy management and energy audit is to achieve the and maintain the optimum energy procurement utilization throughout the organization. Means it is not only for the using of the energy, it is also the procurement of energy. Whatever you are going to purchase the energy, any form of energy, it may be a, say, thermal energy, electrical energy, some raw material, it may be a fuel. So it is a proper procurement. It is the proper quality of the fuel we have to purchase for any type of organization. And the next objective is to minimize energy cost, whatever the energy cost is there, and how you are going to minimize by the effective use, by the judicious use of energy. It is possible to minimize the energy cost. Then wastage without affecting the product and quality. So what we are going to do, we want to decrease the energy cost. So decreasing energy cost is not only by reducing the consumption. It is whatever the reduction in the consumption, or whatever the reduction in the waste in the energy, without affecting the quantity of the product and quality and comfort level. Suppose it is going to happen for any process industry or manufacturing industry, we do not want to hamper the quantity of the product, quality of the product. And if it is a say a commercial or residential, we do not want to compromise in the comfort level also. So this is nothing but the energy conservation, or it is the energy management. And one more important factor in the energy audit and management is the minimize the environmental effect. Whatever the environmental effect is going to occur, it has to be minimized. In the energy scenario, we have seen that if you are increasing the energy consumption, we found that the efficiency of the thermal power plant, then transmission, distribution, up to the utilization or at the end user, we are reaching only the 1 unit of electricity, and then we have to produce around 3 unit of electrical energy, 3 unit of electrical energy at the generating station. So it is going to affect the environment also. So if you do the energy conservation, if you do the energy management, if you do the energy auditing in a proper manner, definitely we can minimize the environmental effects are there. Now, what is the need of energy audit? In any industry, there are three top operating expenses are there, and these three top expenses are the, one is the energy, that is both electrical as well as the thermal energy, labor and material. If you visit any industry, if you think over the any type of industry, there are three top operating expenses. One is the labor, second is the raw material, isn't it? And third is the energy. So where we are going to minimize that one? We cannot reduce the labors, we cannot reduce the people those are working over there, because it is going to hamper the quantity and quality of the production, isn't it? We cannot compromise in the material quality, otherwise it will not stay in the market, because there is a market is a very competitive one, and the rate of any product is going to decide by the market, because in the same range we find number of industry, number of companies are producing the same gadgets are there, and therefore we have a competitive rates are there. So which is the third point is remaining is the energy. So if you do the energy conservation, if you minimize the wastage, if you're going to minimize, if you're going to examine the our production process, and if you reduce the wastage, recycling, and different by this way, definitely we can reduce the electrical consumption. So if you reduce the consumption, electrical as well as the thermal consumption, if you do the energy audit, definitely we can reduce the one of the operating expenses in the industry. Second point is the energy audit will help to understand more about the way energy and fuels are used in the industry, and help in identifying the area where waste can occur and where the scope of improvement in the existing system. So it is quite obvious is that if you are going to examine, if you are going to analyze the detail of energy audit, so what happen, we are understand where from where we are going to purchase the energy in the form of electrical energy, in the form of fuel, in the form of the water, isn't it? Whatever the say this quantity you are going to purchase, from where we are going to purchase, and in which way we are using. So if you analyze each and every aspect of the production, definitely we can identify where is the wastage, where we can improve the system in the existing system, isn't it? And where large wastage are going to occur and how to minimize it. So if you understand what is the wastage is there, definitely we will think over this wastage, and we are reducing the wastage. The meaning is that we are reducing the consumption of electrical energy and thermal energy. For example, if it is a soap industry, we are manufacturing 1000 soap, isn't it, in a one day, but out of this one, 150 soap is going to recycle, because of some different aspect it is get rejected. So if you think over this 150 per day and multiply by 365 days, you will find huge amount of energy, huge amount of raw material, water, resources, then labor work is going to waste over the because of some mistake or some of the negligency in our production procedure. So if you're reducing this wastage, definitely we are effectively using the raw material, we are effectively use the electrical and thermal energy and manpower, and help it will going to help in the enhancement of the profit level. So the energy audit is going to help to understand not only the electrical energy conservation, not only the thermal energy conservation, it also help to understand the wastage in the system, wastage which is going to occur or recycling is going to occur in the production area. Okay, so this is the second objective of the energy audit. Third is it reduces the gap between demand and generation. So if you think a bigger one, the demand of the electrical energy is gone increasing, whereas the generation capacity of the generation will remain as it is. You will see that most of the thermal power plants is very old. Okay, no doubt in last 10 to 15 years the new power plant has been comes into the existence. But we cannot say that whatever the rate of energy consumption, whatever the demand is going on day by day, at the same time the generation capacity or generation facility is not going to increase at the same rate. So there is an increase in gap between the generation and demand, and the effective tools or effective method to reduce the gap between demand and generation is the energy audit and conservation. So by doing the energy audit and conservation, definitely we will bring down the gap between generation and demand. So it is a just a simple word to reduce the gap, but because of this one, what we are going to do, we are effectively using the existing infrastructure in the factory at the user end, as well as we are effectively using the uh, generation facility in the system. So as a whole, which will affect the cost of the electrical unit, cost of the production, uh, quantity and quality of the product, at the same time environmental, all these points has been considered in the one single line, that is the reduction in gap between demand and generation. And third is the environmental issue. No doubt, when we are going to install any plant, a big plant, there is a number of issues are there, social issues are there, environmental issues are there, isn't it? So because of this one, definitely it become very difficult to install the new thermal power plant or nuclear power plant across the country. So the best way or best method which is available in the existing one is the energy audit and conservation. So if you do the energy audit and conservation, each and every step, each and every type of the consumer, effectively it will reduce the generation and hence the environment also. It will it does not damage the environment too. Now, what are the different type of energy audit? So energy audit is depend upon the method. Energy audit is depend upon the type of industry and at what level we have to do the energy audit. The example, the meaning is that either the client or either the industry, either the some consumer want to invest the money in the energy audit, isn't it? There are many ways to earn the money, but energy conservation and energy auditing is the responsibility of each and individual as well as a group to do the, because it is a natural gift, isn't it? And it is a mandatory to do the energy conservation and energy audit for different type of industries. Already we have come to know that in the energy conservation program in India, we have identified some type of the consumers. It may be from the industry side, it may be from the commercial side, isn't it? And there it is make mandatory to do the energy audit or to do the energy conservation program. So if you want to do the energy conservation program and energy audit, so the method of energy audit depend upon the type of industry, depth of energy audit, either the consumer or the client is ready to pay the money or to invest the money in the energy audit or whatever the suggestions given by the auditing team is there. So it is mainly classified in general, it is the preliminary energy audit and detailed energy audit. What is the preliminary energy audit? Preliminary energy audit is the quick exercise is there, and from just to look at any industry to just see the what is the energy, what is the electric bill, what is the thermal bill, what are the different type of fuels are there, what is the production, how much is the production, what is the cost of total is one, and total benefits and total say input, so, or we can say that raw material and energy cost and production and outgoing cost is there, and what is the benefit is there, isn't it? Again we can find the per production cost, what is the energy consumption is needed, isn't it? So we can calculate the specific energy consumption. We can set one reference point, we are going to reduce the energy consumption, specific energy consumption. For example, the specific energy consumption is 5 kilowatt kWh, so we want to reduce is by 3.5 or 3.8. So this type of activity can be done with the preliminary energy audit methodology. So, in simple, the preliminary energy audit is a relatively quick exercise to, number one, establish energy consumption in the organization. It means that what are the different energies, thermal energy, okay, electrical energy, what is the fuel cost is there, what are different type of fuels are available. It may be say they are using coal, they may are using the oils, they are using some kerosene or whatever the different electrical energy. Either they are taking the electrical energy from grid, or they are on the open access system, which we see one by one. Either they are generating their own electrical energy with the help of some a solar plant, or it may be a wind plant, it may be some waste material recovery systems are there. So we have to establish the energy consumption detail in the organization or in the factory itself. Okay. Second point, estimate the scope of saving. What is the scope of saving is there? It definitely it is depend upon the uh, say experience of the energy audit team. It is going to calculate the what is the scope, 10% scope, 20% scope, by visiting the entire industry, what are the different practices are there, isn't it? Because people practices, the worker practices also play a very important role in the energy conservation. Okay. Next is identify the most likely area and the easiest area for the attention. Okay, it can we can identify in which area the energy can be conserved very easily. Okay, for example, utility. What is the meaning of utility? Utility, for example, if it is a soap industry, they are we are manufacturing the bath soap or washing soap are there. So thermal, where some compressors are there, then some boilers are there. Okay, then cool water chilling plant is there. So it is the utility. So if we can see that there is a leakage in the pipelines, there is a leakage in the compressed air, there is a leakage in the steam walls are there, steam lines are there. So definitely by only trapping that leakages, we can reduce the losses in the system. So by the preliminary energy audit, by visiting the plant, one can identify which is the most likely area where we can save the energy. We can identify this is the area where we have to invest some money for replacing the existing machine by the new energy efficient machineries are there. So there is a investment is needed. Some area is there only by educating the people, educating the worker, or by just modifying the system in the existing way, in the existing system only just a small modification can give the energy conservation. Okay, for example, if you think towards our college also, some of the many of the students, many of us, we found that there is no one in the classroom, there is no one in the labs, still some fan and light are running. So if you educate the people is that whenever you are leaving the classroom, when you are leaving the lab, you have to switch, or you should switch off the fan and light. If you change the habit, if you just educate the people, definitely this wastage can be minimized. As there is no one is there and light and fan is running, so it is a wastage, it is not converted into the useful form. So similarly, if suppose some machineries are continuously running, some chilling plant is still running even though the temperature has been reached, we want the temperature of water at 20 degree, but the temperature of water is going to reach up to the 15 degree and 11 degree. So this is the wastage of energy occur in the system. So by educating the people, by just modifying the system, is the way of energy conservation. So there are major two. One is the most likely area. Some is the area where without investment we can do the energy conservation. Where some of the area where we have to invest or we have to replace the existing machine. So this type of identification also carried out in the preliminary energy audit. Okay. Identify the immediate, especially no cost and low cost improvement and saving. Some of the areas there where we does not need any type of investment, we does not need to do any type of modification, only just by setting some different temperature, by setting some different sensors are there, we can do the energy audit, we can save the wastage in the system. For example, if it is a classroom, if you install some uh, occupancy sensor. So if there is no one in the classroom, automatically light and fan is going to switch off. If there is a street lights are there for any city, if they are fitting light sensors are there, so the light is going to automatically on when the dark started, and as soon as there is a bright comes, it will going to switch off the light. So by this way we can do the especially low cost, no cost investment is there, a very little investment is there, or sometimes there is a no investment, only by educating the people, by doing the awareness of energy audit, by explaining what is the importance of energy conservation and audit, this can be identified. So this is one more objective of preliminary energy audit. Set a reference point, whatever this meant. For example, our specific energy consumption is 5 unit, so we can set the reference point up to the 4 or 3.5, isn't it? Or for example, our electric consumption is 5 lakh rupees per month. Now we want to have a new reference point, is that our electrical consumption should not reach to the say 4.2 lakh per month electrical 4 lakhs per month is that. So taking a reference level is the one of the activity of preliminary energy audit. Identify area of more detailed audit and measurement. Definitely, some of the machines, some of the equipments need some practicals. We have to conduct some tests. We have to conduct some trials in modification system. So we have to identify which machines to be tested. Either this machine is consuming more energy, what is the loading of motor, what is the input of motor, what is the power factor of motor, what is the temperature rise. So it needs some times, it needs some we have to do some analyze over the data also. So we have to identify this one and this one, we have to carry out the some practicals over there. So this is also one of the activity of preliminary energy audit. Preliminary energy audit use existing or easily obtained data. The meaning is that in the preliminary energy audit, what we will do, whatever the existing data is there, whatever the in practice, if suppose in any industry they have a practice that in the morning they will take the power factor value, voltage value, current and the consumption. In evening they will take the power consumption, each and everything. So what we can do, we have the energy data in the morning time as well as in the evening time, so we can calculate what is the total consumption in a year, in the entire day. Similarly, if they have some data for temperature and this one, they again take so whatever the easily data, whatever the easily existing their measurement is there, we can take for the preliminary energy audit. Okay, for example, they have a electrical energy bills are there. So from the electrical energy bill, you can calculate what is the total electrical energy in the year. Okay, what is the percentage of energy cost as compared to the raw material cost, what is the percentage of energy cost as compared to the labor and other charges are there. So by doing this calculation, by knowing this value, we can identify most likely area where we have to conduct some practicals and which type of activity can be carried out. Similarly, in the preliminary energy audit, we can take some workshop, we will take some activity to do the awareness among the peoples, isn't it? We can form an energy audit team. The energy audit team should be comprises of the client peoples as well as the energy auditors. For example, if suppose you are thinking that you should for this topic we have to think that I am the energy auditor. So as an energy auditor, what we will do, we will make a team of the client, some people, some manager, it may be a manager, it may be a foreman, it may be some shift in charge is there, and by doing some small meetings among them, what is your practice, what type of data you are daily taking, and what are the where is the energy, where we can save the energy uh, as per your opinion. So by doing the mutual say meetings among the peoples, definitely it will help to do the energy audit, and all these activities comes into the preliminary energy audit. Second is the detail energy audit. Now once we are going to identify, this is the most likely area where we have to measure some energy, we have to measure, we have to do some measurement, we have to connect some more instruments. Sometimes the instruments is not sufficient. For example, in one section only one energy meter is connected, but we want instantaneous power. So what we have to do, we have to connect the watt meter. But we want to measure the power factor of each and individual machine. So what you have to do, you have some portable meters by which we are able to measure the kVAR, means reactive power input, active power, current, voltage, then power factor. So this all activity comes under the detailed energy audit. Okay, so in detail energy audit, again it is divided into the three part. One part is the phase one, that is pre-audit phase. Second part is the audit phase, and third part is the post-audit phase. So first we will discuss the pre-audit phase. Discuss with the site senior management and the aim of the energy audit. No doubt, if you have appointed as an energy auditor, we will meet to the manager, we will meet to the senior supervisor, or to the any higher authorities, and we will decide what is the aim. You will explain what is the aim of energy audit, what are the input from the manager. Okay, and by mutual uh, one, we are going to set up a energy audit team. Now, discuss the economic guideline associated with the recommendation of the energy audit. Definitely, when we do the energy audit, entire energy audit, in the energy audit, we will put some kind of replacement options are there. We have to replace some existing machine which is not efficient by the efficient machineries. So what we will do, we will replace, by when we are going to replace that existing machine by the new machine, definitely the cost of the machine is going to incur. So we have to understand what is the economic guideline associated with the recommendation. Either you are happy, you are ready to do the investment or not. So up to which investment, up to what extent of investment, uh, uh, say facilities are there, you have to see. Second is the analyze the major energy consumption data with the relevant personnel. Say for example, in any industry there are different sections are there, warehouse is there, utility sections are there. Okay, then production is there, raw material handlings are there. So from each and every section, senior manager, or say from the that site in charge, or say shift in charge is there, we have to collect the major data which related to the different section or different department of the organization. Obtained site drawing, where whenever it is available, building layout, steam distribution, compressed air distribution, and electrical distribution. It means that when we take the site layout, we are easily understand what is the pipeline length is there, what is the way or what is the methodology have been adopted for the distribution of the compressed air, distribution of cool water, cooling systems are there, some chilling systems are there, and electrical systems are there. Can we change the route of the pipeline? To if you change the route of the pipeline, if your alternative methods is available which will decrease the length of the pipe, it will decrease the number of bend, it will decrease the number of say if we can decrease the head of the pipe, so it will increase the efficiency of the pumping system. Okay, similarly, if you know the electrical distribution, can we modify what is the power factor of total plant and what is the power factor of individual machine? Can we install some capacitor at some load center as well as the center, means at the supply center or at the individual center? We will see one by one what is the advantage of connecting the capacitor near to the load and what is the advantage of connecting a capacitor at the center level, means from the distribution or substations are there. So the site layout and the distribution layout help to understand and to suggest some new method or layout for the different, it may be a steam, it may be compressed air. Tour with the site accompanied by the engineer or production peoples. Definitely, as the client, for you it is a new, we cannot understand each and everything from the drawing. We have to take the physical visit with the help of along with the factory manager along with some relevant people, so that they can explain the way of he can explain the way of electrical distribution, what are the different panels are there, what are the measuring systems available are there, either some new measuring system have to be adopted, what are the different sensors are there, how many systems has been automized, isn't it? Any scope for the automation? Definitely the automation will reduces the energy as well as the manpower. So this is the way, this is the points are considered in the pre-audit phase. The aim of visit, which we have said, to finalize the energy teams. Definitely we have to make some energy audit teams are there. Some of the people from the clients and some people from the energy auditor teams are there, to identify the main energy consumption area, plant items by survey during the audit report. Okay, so we have to identify the major consumption area. Either it is a utility sections are there, cooling towers are there, compressed air compressors are there, some milling machines are there. So it is going to identify the energy consumption area where the energy going to consume more. Now, second is that to identify any existing instrumentations or additional measuring instruments are there. So whatever the measuring instruments are there, either it is sufficient or we have to install some more instruments in the system to measure, to do the close observation of the energy input and energy utilization sections are there. Okay. Now to decide whether any meter will have to be installed before audit, just like a KWH meters, energy consumption meters are there, steam meters are there, oil, gas, and some pressure gauges are there, have to be identified. To identify the instrumentation required for carry out the audit, definitely, just I have told, if you want to do the test over the machines, some portable motors are needed to measure the current, to measure the KWH, kVAR, and power factor. To plan with the time frame, we have to chalk out the all activity with respect to time. How much time is needed to do the detail energy audit, first audit, energy audit report, their recommendations and implementation. To collect the micro data on the plant energy source, major energy consumptions are there. Okay, and to create the awareness through the metering program meetings. So we have to create the meetings, and by creating the by creating the awareness, we have to um, uh, we can accommodate all people, we can involve all the people to in the energy conservation program. Because if when the all peoples are ready to do the energy conservation, then and then it is give the fruitful results. So now I stop over here, and next time we will proceed for the this one.